We're going to test an under 2.5 goals football trading strategy on the World Cup final in advance to see if it could be potentially profitable. Many are expecting a tight match between Argentina and France, so maybe this is the best angle to explore. Either way, we're going to find out. Go grab a nice cold beer and let's get into it. So when it comes to trading football on Betfair, the strategies are pretty much split between goal positive strategies and goal negative strategies. In the previous video, we looked at a goal positive strategy with the later draw system, and with that, you need a goal to be scored. That's why it's goal positive. What we're going to look at today is goal negative, where we actually don't want goals to be scored. However, this could fit well with a match which a lot of people are anticipating could be very tight, and some are saying there might not be any goals at all. I hope that's not right, but some are saying that. So anyway, I'm just going to bring up some of the World Cup final stats, and I did show this in the last video again, but this is where this gets interesting. Over 2.5 goals happens in World Cup finals 25% of the time. So really the price on over 2.5 goals should be around 4, and under 2.5 goals should be around 1.25. okay, it's currently around 1.6 to 1.65. It's fluctuating at the time of putting out this video, but just looking at that, I mean, there's just value. There could be value just in backing under 2.5 goals just as a straight bet, but that's not what we're here for. We are here to look at some trading strategies. Now, the strategy that we're going to look at today, we're going to run a quick simulation and a test on it. The idea is that we want to take advantage of potential long periods in the match without a goal being scored. So if you look at this World Cup final, is this going to be the type of match which is going to be end to end and it could be a goal every 10, 20 minutes or something like that? Or is it the type of match where it could just be goalless for a long period of time? Or even if one team takes the lead, they can defend that lead for a long period of time before there is potentially an equalizer. You have to decide, obviously. You are the trader. It's your money that you're going to be putting into the market. We're just floating some ideas out there for you. But if you look at this final and you think that this looks like that type of match, then the strategy we're going to be looking at today could be a decent one to follow. And anyway, this is the strategy idea. It is to back under 2.5 goals at kickoff, and we're going to take advantage of the time decay as the match progresses without a goal. We know that the price on under 2.5 goals is going to shorten, and if there are no goals by halftime, we just take the profit and then we just exit out of the match. If there is a goal and we're in the market and we've backed under 2.5 goals, what we will be doing is then backing under 2.5 goals again at the new inflated price. So we're getting a much better price if there is a goal in the first half. In the first half, and the idea behind this is because if we are anticipating that both teams have strong defenses, it's not going to be an end-to-end thriller. It could easily be the type of match where a team takes the lead, defends the lead, and they can defend it for a long period of time. Then we could get out with a profit, and again, we would now be out taking our profit at 60 minutes. So our exit point would either be at 45 minutes or it would be at 60 minutes. That's if we have a successful trade. Of course, we always have to have a backup plan for when things go wrong. And in this case, if there are 2 goals scored before 60 minutes, we would lock in a loss. And again, this is a very interesting question to ask yourself when you are trying to analyze the match in advance. You're trying to forecast it. Look at this match, ask yourself the question, do I see this being an open match where there's going to be 2 goals before the hour mark? If I think that that is the case, then I probably want to use a goal positive strategy. If I think that this could easily be a very tight match, no goals by halftime or even 60 minutes, or even just 1 goal by 60 minutes, then potentially you want to use this goal negative strategy. Anyway, we're going to get into the simulator in a moment, so you're going to see the strategy play out over a few different scenarios. And remember, we are doing that with our software, the Football Trading simulator software. It's not been available in quite a long time. We are hoping to make it available again in the new year. If it's new to you, this is going to be very interesting for you to see how it works. Keep watching to the end of the video to get a bit more information on it. But anyway, let's get into the simulations of it. But before we do, I would really love it if you could just click the like button to support the channel. We make these videos for free for your education and a little bit of entertainment. And all we ask for in return is you click the like button, also hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. That enhances your chances of getting our videos in the algorithm sent to you as soon as they are uploaded. All right, that is done. Let's get into some simulations of our under 2.5 goals strategy used on the World Cup final. So we're going to be getting involved backing under 2.5 goals there, around 1.62. Currently that's the price, 1.62, as we record this video. So the idea is that if we can get to close to half time, we could lock in at least £40 on this. Half time 0-0, that is. If there is a goal, it's actually a bit of an opportunity. We would be then backing under 2.5 goals, looking for a further goalless period, and we could then take a potentially bigger profit from that trade. Okay, so that's the idea behind it, and let's roll it forward. Let's see where we're at with half time on this one. And this is a half-time 0-0. Okay, so that's good. All right, half-time 0-0. Let's get it locked in, and that will be done. That will just be the end of the trade there. We won't have to do any further trades, and we're just going to add it to our strategy center just to try and keep track of this, and it would be as simple as that. So have I clicked on it? Oh, we haven't ended the match. Sorry. Whoops. Let's end the match. Let's actually see how this match ends. 1-0 win to Argentina. So that would be a 1-0 win to Argentina. And then we are going to get this saved into our strategy center. And then we're going to try again. So 0-0 at half time. That's the easiest scenario. But of course, you have to anticipate that there will be first half goals in this match. So let's see how that plays out. Let's try another example and see what happens. So we're all set, ready to go again, and we backed under 2.5 goals there at 1.62. So we're going to do, just going to press that next goal button, and let's just see when the first goal arrives, and then we'll take action from that particular point. And in this one, an early goal to Argentina after 10 minutes. So this is where we're going to have to start to take some action. So the under 2.5 goals, the price has gone up to 2.6. So now we stay in the trade for longer, because obviously if you're getting involved with this strategy, you're expecting that it's going to be a tight match. There's going to be long periods without any goals being scored. So anyway, let's see where we're at half time, just to illustrate. Well, I mean, there could be another goal, right? But anyway, it's still 1-0 to Argentina at half time, but obviously we're going to stay until the 60-minute mark now. And let's see, and this one, yep, this one's going to be a profitable one. So let's lock it in, and we'll lock in the profit from this one. And so obviously, as mentioned, with the trade, or let's end the match. With the trade, as mentioned, obviously another goal in between, that's when we'd have to take a loss. But if we're very confident this is going to finish under 2.5 and it's going to be a tight match, then we shouldn't really be afraid of that, if that's what your viewpoint on the match is. Anyway, let's get this profit saved in. This one did finish as a 2-0 win to Argentina. So, I mean, if we were to just have backed the under 2.5 goals from the start and let it run, we would have just made, what, £62. But obviously with the trade-in, we had the profit locked in a little bit earlier. Anyway, let's get another one lined up and let's see what happens next. To go again, Argentina, France, backing under 2.5 goals there at 1.62. Let's click on the next goal button. And let's see when that first goal of the match arrives, if it arrives. So France take the lead on 48 minutes, 1-0. But anyway, obviously, as we know, our exit point would have been half time. So that would have been a profitable trade. Okay, so let's just get that locked in. And then we will move on, which is interesting because when we did the previous simulations, we had a whole load of first half goals. Already so far, we've had 2 half-time 0-0s. So it just shows how random it can be with the distribution of these matches and the way they play out. Anyway, let's go to the end of the match Let's see how this plays. Let's see how this finished. And it was a 1-0 win to France, so it would have been under 2.5 goals anyway. Anyway, let's get that saved in, and we will try another one. The rule set up again, under 2.5 goals, 1.62. In a strange way, I'm actually hoping for a loser, just to get an idea of what sort of damage you can take on some of these losses. But anyway, let's see what happens. Let's press the next goal. It's obviously 0 minutes in. Let's see when that first goal arrives in this one. And this is an early goal. Okay, 11 minutes. So Argentina take the lead. 11 minutes. That would mean we can back under 2.5 goals. Again, they're at 2.56. And, well, this will be interesting. Let's press next goal and see what happens after this. 76 minutes would have been the next goal. So we would have been out. We would have been out around that 60-minute mark. So let's just put the clock back to 60 minutes. And this is it's gonna be another profit. Let's get it locked in. Annoyingly, because like I said, you always want to get an idea of your worst case scenario. So anyway, that profit's locked in. Let's go to the end of the match and have a look at how this one finished in the end. Argentina a 2-1 win and over 2.5 goals. So we have locked in a profit on under 2.5 goals. Match finished overs, which just shows the difference between betting and trading. Anyway, it's locked in. Let's go for another example. To go under 2.5 goals, backed at 1.62. Let's press the next goal button. Let's look for a first half goal. Like I said, I want a loser. I want one. Let's see what happens here. So next goal, 21 minutes. Okay, 21 minutes. Argentina take the lead. So we'll be back in under 2.5 goals there at 2.22. Okay, so we'll go in again on top of it. And let's just press the next goal. Let's see what time that next goal arrives and if it's after 60 minutes. And it is after 60 minutes. So let's wheel that clock back, because 60 minutes would be our exit point on this one. And let's just have a look at where we would end up. And it would be a profit there, £97 a profit. So again, another winner, annoyingly, because yeah, I was trying to find that losing example. Anyway, let's go to end of the match. Let's see how this one did turn out in the end. Argentina, very comprehensive win for Argentina, and it went over 2.5 goals. Okay, but of course, trading under 2.5 goals, we had the profit from earlier on. Okay, which just again shows the difference between betting and trading for those who are new to the channel. But anyway, that's going to be locked in. Let's go for another example. Ready to go. Come on, let's try and get a losing trade. Come on, let's go. Next goal. Let's press the next goal button and see where this goal arrives. And okay, I mean 39 minutes. So this is an interesting scenario, because look, we backed that under 2.5 goals there at 1.62. Sticking to the rules of the trade, the price has risen, but is it really worth it going in at 1.75? That's like 13 ticks higher. Is it worth it? You'd have to decide that sort of thing in the moment. But anyway, we're going to stick to the system, and because it's all a simulation, right? And let's see once it gets to 60 minutes and see where we're at. And so you might have to make some sort of executive decision in these sorts of scenarios. So anyway, it's remained 1-0 to France 60 minutes in, so this would be another profitable one. So let's get it locked in. And obviously then we're going to end the match, and let's see how this match ended. Argentina 0, France 1, and it's going to end in a 1-0 to France. So we'll add that to our profits, and let's try another one. We're trying to get a losing trade. Hopefully the next one is a loser. Let's see. Okay, we're all set up, ready to go again. Argentina, France, back in under 2.5 goals. Let's press that next goal button, and let's skip straight forward to the action. And okay, this is interesting. 7 minutes in, France take the lead. An very early goal there. So let's try and back under 2.5 goals again, and maybe this is the losing trade, and we can take a look at it. Okay, let's press next goal, and if it's a goal before 60 minutes, we will have to lock in a loss. Let's take a look. Wow, okay, 15 minutes on the clock, France 2 goals up. And so if you're looking for a worst case scenario of this trade, that has to be it. That has to be it. 2 goals within the first 15 minutes. So we would definitely be taking a loss at this particular point. So it would be a loss in this case of 138, and we're going to get that locked in. And so that is a very good example. That shows you probably that's as bad as it gets. If you're backing under 2.5 goals and you're getting 2 goals within the first 15 minutes, that is as bad as it gets. So anyway, let's end the match and see how this one ended. It would be very funny if this one actually just finished 2-0 to France, wouldn't it? Let's see how this one ends. What? Oh, wow. Okay, it did finish 2-0 to France. Okay, all right. Anyway, doesn't matter. We're traders. We couldn't take that chance of letting it run. But obviously, if we did let it run, that would have been a very nice profit. But anyway, that's how it can go for us. Anyway, we'll put that in. The first loser we've got of this one, and obviously that's going to take away from the profits we've made. And so that's a very good, interesting example to see. So let's move on. Okay, we're back again. We're loaded up, back in under 2.5 goals there at 1.62. Let's press the next goal button. Obviously, the last one was a loser. Let's see what happens on this one. And that's interesting. Another early goal. So it just shows you the random distribution of the goal timings, because we've had so many half-time 0-0s or goals late on in the match, etc. Suddenly we've got 2 matches with early goals in a row. So anyway, obviously, as we know, we're going to back under 2.5 goals again. And this will be interesting if this is 2 losers in a row after getting all those winners. Let's have a look. Let's press the next goal. And no, next goal was on 78 minutes. So let's bring the clock back. And 60 minutes, that would have been a profitable trade once again. So let's just get that into, well, let's just get that cashed out. And we're going to add that to the profit. Okay, so let's go back and let's add that to our under 2.5 goals strategy. Oh no, we've got to end the match. I always forget to do that. Always forget to do that. And I know people who use the simulator make this mistake also. Anyway, the match ends as a 1-1 draw. And now we can get it saved into our strategy center. And let's get another one loaded up. I think we've got 2 more to go. Simulation number 9, under 2.5 goals, 1.62. We've backed it. Let's press the next goal button. Let's see when this first goal arrives. And let's take a look at this. Oh, wow. 2 minutes in. 2 minutes on the clock. And France take the lead. Is that going to happen in the final? That would be very, very interesting. So this is as good as it gets for backing the under 2.5 goals at a higher price, 2.92, if there is a goal in pretty much the first or second minute. So we're going to back that under 2.5 goals there at 2.92, and still got the rest of the half, well, all the way up to 60 minutes to play, right? So you'd expect that this one must be another loser. Let's press the next goal button, and let's see. No. Remember, the next goal has to arrive before 60 minutes. The next goal in this one didn't arrive till 83 minutes. So let's pull that clock back to 60 minutes. And actually, this is going to be a very nice profit, isn't it? If we, since we took such a very nice price in the second minute. So we'll get that locked in, and it's going to add to the overall profit that we are making with this strategy. So, okay, this is good. We're going to add it to the strategy center and add it to our final total, and then we're going to do one final trade. I mean, it's been a very, very good strike rate with this. It's only a small sample of 10 trades. This is something to keep in mind. I'm sure if we did this over a lot more trades, it might even out a little bit more. But anyway, just a bit of a forewarning there for you. Anyway, let's do one more trade and let's see what happens. Final simulation for this video, and we're back in under 2.5 goals. Let's see what happens. Next goal, let's just see. Let's press that button and let's see the first goal of the match. Early goal in this one to France after 13 minutes. So this is okay. We got potential to go out on a loser in this one. So remember, the next goal, if it arrives before 60 minutes, we will have to take a loss. If it's after 60 minutes, we would have locked in the profit on 60 minutes. So let's see. Are we going out on a loss or are we adding to the profit? We're going out on a loss. 32 minutes, it's 1-1, and let's lock it in, because this is obviously realistic. This is something which could easily play out in the final. So anyway, We've locked in that loss. Let's go now to see how the match ends. It's 1-1 at half time. Well, it's 1-1 at full time. Actually, no. Wow. It finished in a 2-3 to France. So, wow, that would be some final if that's how it plays out. Anyway, let's add that now to our tally down here in the corner. World Cup under 2.5 goals. It's going to add to our tally, and then we can look at the final total and get an idea of this. And so we go down to the tracker section. So obviously you saw the World Cup lay the draw video that we tested. If you didn't, then it's the previous video to this one. The World Cup under 2.5 goals. So we did 10 trades, and again, I just want to make this clear to everyone. 10 trades is a really, really small sample. We're only doing 10 trades for the entertainment aspect of this video. It is on YouTube. Really, you should do a lot more, but then we would be here all day. So yeah, just to let you know, that is a small sample, and in such a small sample, you can get bits of luck, and I do think we've had a nice element of luck with the trades we've done today, and possibly there should have been at least another loser in there, but it's looking fairly positive. And so the idea would be is that if you've got the simulator, you would run this through a fair bunch of times to get an idea of the long-term expected outcome with this one. But that's where we're at. We did 10 trades, 8 of them won, 2 of them lost. It's overall a positive angle to take according to this so far. It would be interesting to see what more trades would do to it, but not a bad start. Not a bad start. And of course, if you are looking at the World Cup final, a tight match, or expected tight match, and if you are expecting it to be a tight match, this sort of strategy is probably a good one to look for, where you are just looking for long periods of no goals being scored. Either that's going to be in the first half, where we just get a half-time 0-0, or there is a first half goal, but then you make it to 60 minutes without another goal. That's pretty much what we're looking at on this one. And if that's your thought on how the match is going to play out, then not a bad strategy to look at. Not a bad strategy to look at. So that pretty much wraps it up. And just to give you another warning again, really, if you want to test strategies, you've got to do a lot more than just the 10 trades. So keep in mind, this strategy is best used if you are expecting a tight, low-scoring match. You are expecting long periods without goals being scored, because as you've seen, we could still get an early goal and then still get out with a profit. And in some ways, the early goal actually benefits us. And also, if you are expecting a halftime 0-0, probably worth going for. I mean, I was quite surprised by how well that simulation went. But as said, it's a small sample, and sometimes you can see remarkable results in small samples. Either way, the logic behind the strategy and also the risk reward is quite solid. I mean, the average win was £94. The average loss was 128. So it's not bad at all by football trading standards. So again, remember, you and only you are responsible for the money that you put in the market and your own decision making. So obviously, if you want to consider that strategy, then it's totally up to you. You have to make that final decision. So as mentioned, that we've done all those trades on the football trading simulator. It's been a long time since this has been available. As mentioned, we're trying to make it available again in the new year, and there is a long waiting list for this. But if you like the look of it, then click the link in the description and just get your email address down on the waiting list. I mean, there is so much stuff that you can do with the football trading simulator, and the main idea behind it really is to create your own strategies and to be able to test those strategies over and over again and find some really solid methods which are going to be exclusive to you and no one else is going to know about. So that's the idea behind it. We're going to have more information coming up on it once it is available once again. But if you want to be first in line to get it, then click the link in the description and just get your email address down. It is an absolutely incredible piece of kit and a pretty fun toy to play with. Anyway, if you missed our video where I showed you the later draw simulation on the World Cup final, that is a goal positive strategy. And if you're a bit more of a goal positive type of person, you might want to check that out. That video is on the screen right now for you to click on that video and check it out. The World Cup final is almost here. Get your strategy in place, stake sensibly, enjoy the final, and I'll see you over in that other video.